I've got 3 words for you. Peanut butter whiskey. No? Okay, maybe 3 others. Heavy Callous Hide. Welcome to Tipsi Gaming. I'm Tipsi, and in case you couldn't tell, we're getting into the holiday spirit today. Today we're going to be making a hot cocoa cocktail, and then in-game we're going to take a look at the post-patch drop rates for skinning. We'll look at a few of the different more popular farming areas and compare them all. Then at the end of the video, I'm going to be opening up my weekly vault for the first time and showing you guys what I got there. Kind of like an unboxing. If you want to skip straight ahead to the skinning or the weekly vault portion, then check the timestamps below. But for now, let's make this cocktail. For today's cocktail, I'm going to be using Skrew-dolph peanut butter whiskey. It sounds kind of weird, but it tastes really good. And the cocktail recipe is actually from their website. It's called the Skrew-dolph in honor of the holidays. So I'll put a link to that recipe down in the description below. It takes hot chocolate, which I've already prepared. You add 1 3/4 ounces of the peanut butter whiskey, as well as 1/4 ounce of peppermint schnapps. So not so much that it will overpower it, just enough to give it that kind of winter chill. Then I'm gonna give it a little stir. Thought I'd use a candy cane, keep it festive. I'm gonna taste that as is, but I've got a feeling I'm gonna wanna add some whipped cream. Okay, I'm gonna need a minute. That's delicious. It's like an adult chocolate peanut butter cup. And it's sweet enough that I'm not even gonna use the whipped cream. But I am glad that I'm not sharing. Now that we have our Skrew-dolph, let's jump in the game and check out those skinning numbers.
The first place that I'm going to start for skinning is in Bastion because they currently have a world quest out there that is also one of the current callings, and that's just generally a good place to pick up some skins without too much extra work. The downside of that and any other skinning location is if there are other skinners around. So let's go check it out. So here we are. Looks like we have a lot of skinning options. This is excellent. So I'm actually going to... I do have the Gathering enchant on my gloves to increase skinning time, or increase skinning speed, decrease skinning time. And then I just use the Dark Moon Firewater to also increase it. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes since I've been out here, and I'm gonna call it there, just because it is a world quest, so that comes with trade-offs. On the one hand, it's easy to pick up other people's skins, because if they're not skinners, then you can just go and skin them, no problem. But it also means that you're often competing with a lot more skinners who are all trying to do the same thing, and that's just much less enjoyable for me. So I'm gonna call it for this location and head off to another area still in Bastion to check out some other popular skinning areas. Next, we're going to go up to this area up here. That's another farming area. Alright, and this looks like a pretty good area to start some slaughter. I do think that I am getting more cooking mats from this group of mobs than from those that were at the World Quest area. Overall, this area is just feeling really slow by comparison. I think because it's just so spread out and you're not getting the quick respawn rate that a good area will offer you. So I'm I'm just gonna call it at that. I think that was about 20 minutes. We got one Heavy Callous Hide, which is pretty par for the course, I think. So I'm gonna hearth, we'll turn these in and move on to Ardenweald. Now we are in Ardenweald, and the first area that we're gonna go check out has been a very popular skinning location. It's just north of Tir Naval on either side of the road. In the past, this has had a fantastic respawn rate, and there's, I think, 2 or 3 different locations. So even if you have competition, you'll still generally be doing okay. So it actually looks like there is no competition right now, which makes me wonder if it has been changed because of the patch. So let's take a look and find out. So you're primarily killing the starving shadow stalkers in the area, but also the foxes, moths, and deer creatures are also skinnable. Alright, so see, we just barely finished skinning all of those, and the first one has already respawned. Anytime you have the grazers in group, I do recommend killing them first, just because their, I think it's gore attack, does some pretty nasty damage if it builds up. Alright, so that's one spot. 2, you can continue on around this corner, and there's a few more that way. There's a few more down this side of the hill. But you do get more of the grazers in that scenario. This is another good spot. The grazers aren't always there. And these guys haven't respawned yet, which is kind of surprising, but since I'm the only one here, that's probably why. I was doing this location earlier, and I think there was 1 or 2 up at the top, 1 or 2 over here, and so between us 3 groups, I think they were all together. I think it was just them versus me. I think that it was force spawning much faster than it will when I'm here by myself. Wow, I've been here less than 5 minutes and I've gotten 3 Heavy Callous Hides. That's really impressive, actually. There we go. Now we're getting some faster respawns. Excellent. Because that is exactly what we want. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. We've got 3 grazers here. We're gonna convoke. Now, I've never tried to go hardcore farming mats, grinding gold. When I do it, it's as mats for my profession, which is leatherworking. And so there may very well be some more efficient ways of getting this done. But, you know, this works for me. Alright, looks like I finally have some competition out here, which is fine. I was out here for a while without any at all, so I'm okay with that. Hopefully it means that they'll spawn faster, although I'm only going to stay out in this location for a few more minutes before I go and check out the last place on the agenda. Oh my gosh! I just had 2 Heavy Callous Hides back to back. So far, this is my favorite spot. It's gonna be tough to beat. Alright, I think that's about 20 to 25 minutes, so we're gonna stop there. Alright, so this here is another of the popular skinning locations. It's also in Ardenweald. It's on the western side of the map. Oh, I'm getting attacked already. Alright, let's kill you. 30 to 42 are the coordinates, and basically it seems to be mostly foxes. So most of them don't actually aggro on sight, but they don't have the gore attack ability that the grazers do, which is nice. So we've got 28 minutes left on the Dark Moon Firewater, so we'll use that as kind of a marker. I'll probably spend 20 to 30 minutes around out here, just like I did in the other zones, until basically I feel like I'm done. Huh, so none of them have respawned yet. Interesting. A couple over here. But literally just a couple. Yeah, so far, the cats is where it's at. On one more. Yes. Whoop. Trees! Trees! Okay, another thing that I don't like about this area is that these foxes will port behind you, which is really obnoxious when you're trying to cast a spell at their face. The cats don't do that. They're starving. They don't want to move any more than they have to. Well, I'm calling it there. That was a lot of skinning that I don't usually do in one go. Alright, well those were a few of the different popular skinning areas in Shadowlands. So later on I will be taking a look at the numbers from that and comparing them based on the time that I was in each zone and seeing kind of what was the best.
Now that we've done all of the skinning, the fun part begins. And by fun, I mean math. Here's a chart of each of the different zones I was in, as well as how long I spent in each of them. Below that, you can see all of the different relevant items that I gathered. My focus is primarily on the Heavy Callous Hide and, by extension, the Callous Hide, but I've also included the numbers for other relevant items in case that factors into your decision when deciding where to skin. From those raw numbers, I calculated approximately how much Callous Hide and Heavy Callous Hide I could expect to gather in 1 hour at each location. From there, I rounded the Callous Hide down to see how many converted Heavy Callous Hide I could make to give me a total Heavy Callous Hide per zone per hour average. As you can see, the cats in Ardenweald that I liked so much did actually give the most Heavy Callous Hide. However, if you happen to find a World Quest area where you're the only skinner there, I could easily see that providing a higher result count. Also, if you're looking for cooking materials at the same time, it might be more beneficial to you to opt for mobs that drop less Heavy Callous Hide, but more of the cooking materials that you're looking for. All in all, these are approximate numbers based on a small sample pool, and your results may vary. But that's not enough math for me, so let's dig a little deeper. Taking a look at just one of the rune vessels for crafting a legendary item, we can see that this Umber Hide Helm takes 15 Heavy Callous Hide per rank 1 item. I'm getting 15 because the enchanted Heavy Callous Hide each takes 2, plus the Heavy Callous Hide on its own combines to 15. You then have to craft that rank 1 item 15 times in order to unlock rank 2. Rank 2 requires 24 Heavy Callous Hides, which you then have to craft 15 times to get to rank 3. Rank 3 requires 36 Heavy Callous Hides, which you have to craft 15 times to make rank 4. And then the rank 4 requires 60 Heavy Callous Hides. All in all, that means that this Umbra Hide Helm will require 1,185 Heavy Callous Hides for a single leatherworker to take it from the first time they craft it up to rank 4. And if you divide that number by the highest amount of skinning I got per hour during my adventures, it will take almost 35 hours. That's it for today so that I can get back to skinning. But until next time, please remember to drink and game responsibly.
Okay, so here I am at the Great Vault. It's going to be my first time opening it. Pretty excited to see what's inside. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh, okay. I was a little scared for a minute there. Whew. When it showed nothing at all, that was concerning. But it's the first week that it's here. Kind of understandable. I'm pretty excited overall just about the way that they've designed the Great Vault. Having options to choose from really makes a surprising difference, and I really like the way that it's scaled for everyone. Alright, I'm going with the legs. Yep, it's decided.